All right, here take a look at Riverview's team stats for the year. As you can see, 2,680 yards total offense so far this year in the majority. And their defense has been excellent also. They've only allowed pushing, which is less than 100 yards a game, which is also fantastic. And you know, their points against are also very low, and their defense really has been a hallmark here for the last couple of years, and one of the main reasons why they haven't lost a regular season game since Methuselah was a young guy. So they really seem to have things going, and as we said, a win here for them today gives them their second consecutive conference championship.
And a credit to this team is the play that they've had services at Dapra and today for the first time without Gilbert. We'll see how well they do. And I'll tell you what, the youngster that they have in, and we're going to take a look at lineups momentarily, but Ciora is going to be a very, very capable guy. Let's see how close he comes to a Randy Gilbert performance. The Comcast High School football pregame show has been brought to you by True Value Hardware. True Value is the official hardware store of the NFL, and True Test is the official paint supplier to the NFL. That's Thrift True Value Hardware, where help is just around the corner. Taking a look at our starting lineups here for tonight, sponsored by John's Auto Sales of Old Route 28 in Natrona Heights. First of all, let's take a look at Riverview. The Riverview Raiders, and the line will include Kalo Ciora, Theo Ficaris, Ron Zanella, Rich Walsh, Justin Papa, Mark Bonarotti. In the backfield, Orlando Belisario, Damian Heekins, Fritz Tamburo, Fran Shulo, and Ben Erdeljak. And for the home team, Greensburg Central Catholic Centurions, the line will have Brad Bowers, Sam Traeger, Mike Sullivan, Dave Welsh, Steve Roman, Joe Conlon. The quarterback is Steve Sivak. John Reese and Anthony Fontanezza are the running backs. John Yensha and Nick Yerlich are the wideouts. Folks, if you've not been over to see John's Auto Sales lately, a great selection of thoroughly reconditioned used cars and trucks, come to John's Auto Sales. They've been in the business now for 18 years, and that makes John's Auto Sales tough to beat. Round-trip messenger service to Harrisburg is available, so check out the price, kick the tires, check the warranty and the service at John's Auto Sales, Old Route 28 in Natrona Heights. The opening kickoff is coming up. Stay tuned. You will hear some noise like a flapping sound in the back. And folks, it is a genuine sound of a protective tarpaulin right above us. Erdeljak is to the far side. Down the middle is Tamburo. And to the near side is Damian Heekins. So from the top to the bottom on the receiving core, Erdeljak, Tamburo, and Heekins.
And there's already an air blows off again, already an indication of the way the wind is just howling today as the ball's blowing off the tee twice, and they're going to have to hold it on.
Well, Nick Perlich is kicking off, and he'll get an assist from Steve Sivak. And the kick is short, and Heekins will pick. No, it went right by Heekins down to the 5. Picked up there by Tamburo. Tamburo shakes a couple of tacklers and gets up to about the folks, we temporarily lost some audio. Greensburg had recovered a fumble. Let's bring you up to date, Milo.
Okay, sure. The second play of the game for Riverview, Fritz Tamburo fumbled, and Kurt Stillwagon recovered for Greensburg Central. They had it 1st and 10 on the Riverview 25. Fontanazza carried for 8, and then for 1. And then Syvac, the quarterback, on a sneak, gained 3 yards and a first down. They had 1st and 10 at the 13. Fontanazza for 2, and right there, a 5-yard offside penalty against the Raiders takes it down to the 6, where it's 2nd down and 2.
Syvac is the quarterback, and it gives to the tailback, who gets inside the 5 on the right side of the Raider defense. And for the Raiders, Theo Ficaris. And Rich Walsh assisting on the tackle. So Greensburg now has 3rd down. 3rd down and about a yard. Straight ahead goes the quarterback, and he apparently is crossed awfully close. And the football is set up at the 1-yard line, and it is a 1st and goal. Syvac kept the football and went straight ahead.
1st and goal, Greensburg Central.
So Greensburg with a 1st and 10 at the 7-minute mark of the opening quarter. There is no score. And the ball is given to Mark Pitterell. And he is close, but not in.
Mark Pitterell carrying the ball. Moves it forward.
Looks like the nose of the football is just outside that red stripe. So the Raiders defense here is going to have to shore up. But this, folks, on 2nd down and just about 3-4 inches to go here for the TD. And the quarterback is apparently into the end zone. No signal yet. Syvac. And he's in for the touchdown. So Syvac at 6:09.
For Greensburg Central.
And here's another look at it. He just follows the center and goes right in. And a turnover hurts the Raiders again, as they did last week against Clairton, when Clairton's 2 touchdowns came off of Riverview turnovers.
And it's hard to believe that 6 minutes about has come off the clock, as the Raiders now trail 6-0 in this ball game. And Nick Perlick with Syvac holding. And the kick is good. And apparently one of the Raiders rushed into the kicker. So the penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff. So 7-0 Greensburg, and a roughing the kicker penalty tacked on the kickoff. So we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Number 44.
7-0. The penalty will put the football on the Riverview 45-yard line. And Nick Perlick will kick it there, again with the quarterback, Syvac, holding the ball. And the kick. Of course, that will go out of the end zone.
The scoring drive for Greensburg Central, the scoring drive was 8 plays, 25 yards, and it took them 4:31 to go that 25 yards. And, of course, capped off by the Syvac sneak. It took them a little while to decide it was a touchdown, but the Raiders find themselves in a hole here.
The stiff wind that is blowing across the field from the Riverview bench to the Greensburg bench. So I don't think this is going to be a factor in any of the team's passing attacks here tonight or this afternoon. This is Heekins with a football, and he's tackled by Joe Conlon after a short gain to the 23.
Ball number 44, Damian Heekins, brought down by Joe Carlin and Steve Syvac.
So a gain of 3 on that play. Second,
3 yards, second down
Heekins just, kept his balance.
Bob, I think it's going to be difficult to pass no matter what direction you're going in.
Tamburo and Shulo are shuttling in and out with plays from the bench. The Raiders trail 7-0. And here we go, out of the eye. First man, no, the quarterback, Orlando Belisario, holds onto the football, tackled for a loss, back on the 20, so that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Belisario started to run the option. I thought that he had handed the ball off to the first man through, but apparently a missed block assignment led to that tackle.
And Mark Pitterly busted the whole thing up because he fought off Ertlejack, and that was the end of that play because the containment was too good.
So it is now 3rd and 10. Watch the pass to Ertlejack right here. Ertlejack too far on the far side of the field, and I think the wind may have helped that one, Milo. We did say the wind was blowing across the field, and right now it's 4th and 10, and the Raiders will be forced to kick away the football.
I think the only thing the wind's not going to affect is a handoff.
And don't bet on it, right?
Yeah, really.
Number 10, Steve Syvac.
Syvac is the lone receiver
Number 1, Orlando Belisario.
for Greensburg on his punt return. Orlando takes a good snap. A high spiral is away. Syvac at the 48. They miss some tackles. The ball is lost, and the Raiders have recovered. Right into the hands of Johnny on the spot, Zach Zarimczyk. And the Raiders, and I think it was Fran Shulo who made it all possible. Let's watch. There's Shulo. Yep, Fran Shulo stripped the ball out of the hands of Steve Syvac.
He knocked it right out of there, and that's a break the Raiders needed. As you see, the penalty against Greensburg is declined, and the Raiders are going to take the football at the 48-yard line of Riverview with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they trail at 7-0.
Here come the Raiders with Fritz Tamburo shuttling in the play. So from their own 47-yard line, here come the Raiders. Belisario, Heekins, and Tamburo are in the eye. Tamburo gets the call. Goes off right tackle. He stumbled across the 50. He was spilled on the play by Bates Zakosh. And a gain of about 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4. I don't know if you can see. The handoff and short yardage to the 46 to Fran Shulo. And it appears Greensburg's got some beef up front. So now it's 3rd and about 3. The ball at the Greensburg 46.
Wonder if they're in 4-down territory here.
I don't know, Milo. I'd more depend on the punting game and try to box them in if you're going to look at it that way. Here's the keeper by the quarterback, and he stumbles head, loses the ball. And the Raiders have recovered, I believe.
If they have it, it's a 1st down. Well, no, they're going to mark it back.
They're going to mark it back at the 43. But again, they go poking after the ball. Take a look at the replay.
Just short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down and less than
Looks about 4th and a half a yard. And they got him right there to cough up the ball.
Yeah, they're going to call it. They called him down by contact.
Late in the first quarter, about 2:20 to play.
And here they go.
Greensburg 7 and Riverview nothing. Boy, I don't know that he made it. I don't know that he made it, the official, and I know they're going to bring the chains across to check on the distance. Folks, have you taken a good look at your kitchen lately? It's one place for sure that you work in every day, and if it's not up to par, give Marino Construction a call. Marino Construction specializes in custom kitchens, and they plan the job to fit your budget. Professional work every step of the way for all construction jobs. Well, Greensburg takes over. Not only for kitchens, but for bathrooms as well, room additions and more. From Marino Construction, there's quality work, quality service, and of course, that good old integrity that dates back to 1960. Marino Construction at Allegheny River Boulevard in Oakmont. Phone 828-2662. Well, Greensburg takes over on downs. Syvac with a long count. Hands to the tailback. And the Raiders stiffen up front. Tony Fontaneza. Maybe a yard to the 44. 2nd and 9 coming up. You see the middle of the greens, gain of
about a yard.
Justin Papa responsible there. Principally in 2nd and 9 coming up.
Bob, it's tough to run straight ahead against this Riverview line.
I formation on 2nd and long. The snap of the football. And again, Riverview is there. Nice tackle, Rich Walsh. Also there, Justin Papa. So Fontaneza this time loses a yard. And they're back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 3rd and 10. I don't know what kind of a passing quarterback Syvac is. If he's got anybody out there like a Joe Conlon that can latch onto the football or not, but 3rd and long. Nick Perlick is out to the right. And here's the pass play coming up. And it is incomplete, or no. It was caught, but a penalty flag was thrown.
I think we have an eligible downfield against Greensburg.
That's a loss of down.
Bob, I think it was Brad Bowers, number 65. And he was about 5 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. You can take a look at it here on the replay. You see, when the pass comes through, you'll see Bowers is only maybe a couple of yards behind the receiver. He's ahead of the receiver.
So now it should be 4th down.
No, it's not a loss of down.
It's not? All right, it is 3rd and 15.
Not only was he illegally downfield, he was obviously illegally downfield.
First quarter winds down about 8 seconds, and they'll get this play off, and that'll be it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, he got it off, and the quarterback keeps the football and is run out of bounds short of the 50-yard line. Syvac's run is to the 47. And there's another penalty thrown. And the Raiders apparently want the penalty. I don't know.
I think this is going to be a clip. We saw it on the replay there. I couldn't catch the number of the Greensburg player that did the clipping, but
it happened at the 41. So Syvac's run, you'll give him credit from the 39 to the 41. It's a 2-yard run, and from that point, the ball will be stepped back to the 31-yard line. So it's a 10-yard penalty, and the quarter has come to an end. And they'll move the football to the other end of the field. The quarter is over, folks. All the PA announcer has to do is to get on the phone, on the microphone, and say, gentlemen, let's try the other end of the field. The quarter is over.
I think what the referee is saying is that He wants to run one more play because of the penalty. The quarter can't end because of the penalty.
All right.
And I don't think Greensburg's coach is happy with that because I think he wanted the win the other way.
So it's third and about 22. Third and either 21 or 22, but in either case, they've got a long, long way to go. But if you look at the flags, again, the wind is blowing across the field. Here's a give to the Zach Zrimsik comes in, makes the tackle on the runner, Tony Fontanazza, and the first quarter has finally come to an end. The ball was advanced to the 35, about a 4-yard gain. So, folks, we have played a full quarter, and Greensburg Central has the lead, 7-0. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We are back. It's fourth down for Greensburg in about 18. And so they are in punt formation. Kick is high. It is short. And the Raiders, Ertlejack, the fact that his knee was down before he got the ball. Now, that's one of the few times I've seen that happen.
What happens to him is he just slips.
Yeah, but before he had the ball.
And he was up. And the whistle just blew. The referee blew it dead. And now they're having a powwow to try and sort this out.
7-0, Greensburg in the lead. We have just begun second quarter play-by-play. Bob Tattern here with Mike Pavlik.
And the call is delay of game against Riverview, which is a 5-yard penalty.
That is because Ertlejack was supposed to have known that he cannot advance the ball. So when he did, technically, he delayed the game by taking the ball away from the official.
Correction, it'll be first and 15 from Riverview's 28-yard line.
I guess they're probably worried that there might be some sort of a trick play you can run off of that. And they probably tried to guard against it with a call like that. I think in the rule book, under the heading of silly rules, that would probably be one of the first ones.
Now, it's first and 15, and normally you just move the ball back. I thought it would be first and 10.
Right.
But they start out with a first and 15. And the ball is back to about the 28-yard line. This is Tamburo. Around the left side, Tamburo breaks into the open. He's at the 50 and forced out of bounds at about the Greensburg 42-yard line. Steve Syvac, the deep safety, finally forced him out. Let's take another look.
It's a good block by Rich Walsh also. And you'll see number 10 Syvac come out in the screen here, and he just knocks Tamburo out of bounds and saves the touchdown.
Good run. So the Raiders, their biggest play of the game, that covered 30 yards, and they're at the Greensburg 42. Belisario too high to Ertlejack. I got to believe the wind lifted that ball. I really do. I don't know if you can tell or not. Look at the ball when he releases. Can you tell? Here it comes.
And it looks like it just slipped out of his hands.
That could be too.
He didn't. I'll tell you what. It's a lot colder than you think, and when these guys aren't really used to throwing the ball when their hands are cold like that, it makes a big difference. It makes the ball more slippery.
Second quarter, 7-0 Greensburg. They capitalized on a Raider turnover. First man coming across with a football. That is either Shulo. No, that's Tamburo. Well, I stand corrected again. It was Heekins who carried the football and brought it ahead about 7 yards to the 36-yard line. Let's call it 3rd and 7, a face mask.
And that wasn't called.
That was not called. Shulo checks in.
That looks like a pretty good handful to me, Bob.
Penalty flag And Heekins shakes a tackler at the 20, cuts inside to the 15, and down to the 10. But again, this will be called back because the backfield was in motion. So instead of 3rd and 3, it'll be 3rd and 8.
And number 15, Blaze Cambruzzi, but we have a penalty on the play.
Well, there it was, if you could pick it out.
Go back one more time if you would.
We've got a motion penalty against Riverview.
Now, maybe Shulo leaned ahead a little bit, but that was picky.
It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Well, they called it 3rd and 9 at the 42-yard line. We're in the second quarter. Greensburg leads after a quarterback keeper of a yard out after recovering a fumble. Here's the draw. And running with a football is Fritz Tamburo, who brings it ahead to the 36-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down, and the Raiders just might have decided to go ahead with this one and not punt. They're going to go.
Well, they went for it on the
46.
On the Greensburg 43-yard line, and Shulo was stopped for no gain, so basically the same spot of the field, 5 yards in closer.
Linebackers are up tight. 5-man front. Here's a pitch out around the right side, and they've got the 1st down and more. This is Shulo inside the 5-yard line, all the way down to the 3.
Brought down by number 89, Joey Conlon.
Finally, Joe Conlon brought him down, but Fran Shulo on the quick pitch takes the ball around the right side, shakes the tackler there, gets away from another one here, and finally they catch up with him at the 10 and drag him ahead inside the 5 down to the 3. Better call it the 4-yard line.
This option's a little bit of a new wrinkle from Jay Kappa here today.
Heekins, and well, he'll get the call. Bumps off of one tackler, looks, throws the football. It is caught by a lineman. Heekins threw it up for grabs.
That was the best catch that Rich Walsh ever made.
And Rich Walsh has a reception that will not go in the books.
Bob, what is it that they say? Necessity is the mother of invention?
Hey. Well, let's see. It was 1st and goal from the 4, and the penalty brings it back to the 19, a 15-yard penalty. And let's see if it remains 1st down.
Lost it down.
See, now why wasn't it lost it down?
Because this was offensive pass interference that was the call.
Penalty against Riverview is offensive pass.
All right, Greensburg has called a timeout. We have 8:47 to play in the second quarter. High school football continues after this. Looks to throw. Fires over the middle, and it is caught by Bonarotti. Bonarotti is down at the 6-yard line. They pick up 13 yards on that pass play. What a catch by Bonarotti. Finally, the tackle made by Bates Zakosh. As you see him spinning. And the ball is now brought back to the 7. 3rd down and goal to go. Riverview trailing in the game 7-0 after fumbling the football early in the game, and quarterback Syvac kept the football on about a half-yard quarterback keeper. Here's a give to Ertlejack, looking for room, and he'll go down at the 5-yard line, maybe the 6. Give Ertlejack about a yard. Now Jake Kappa's got decision time here. He's got Orlando Belisario for 3 if he wants it, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. I think the wind is, the ball's on the right hash, number 1, and number 2 with the wind. I don't know that you can trust the kick. And it would only make it 7-3 anyhow. And if they don't make it, their defense is on the field with 95 yards to go the other way.
So here we go. Belisario is over center and keeps the ball. Fires into the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. And Erdeljak makes the reception for 6. How many times has that guy come through for the Raiders?
This is the Riverview bread and butter play when they get down on the goal line. Just a simple play action fake to Heekins, and even though Erdeljak is double covered in the end zone, he has position on the defenders and he pulls it in for the touchdown.
So it is a 7-6 game. Greensburg in the lead by 1. The score comes with 7:15 to play in the second quarter. The hold by Erdeljak and the kick by Belisario is good. And the wind continues to take the football. That ball may have gone to Youngwood. Timeout on the field with the score. River holding for Belisario. The kick is away, and it's a long one, and it's going to carry through the end zone. That ball took off like a knuckleball. And Greensburg, by virtue of the touchback, will have it at their 20.
Old Glory looks like it's flying at Candlestick Park instead of Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
By the way, next weekend, the Leechburg Blue Devils will be in town at Oakmont, and we will be there to cover the action. So the Raiders will be on at least another week. And then, of course, for the playoffs. Syvac with one setback, and he gets the ball. That's Chris Stinelli. And Stinelli powers his way ahead to the 24 or 25-yard line, and Mike Bobnar, it was that carried the football, not Stinelli. Stinelli is with Riverview. I just flipped the chart over and realized what had happened. Gain of 5 in the play, so Mike Bobnar advances the football, and Riverview makes the stop just short of the 25. 2nd and 5 coming up. Again, one setback. Quarterback Syvac holds on to the ball in a nice tackle made by the Raiders' T.J. Skillen. And that could be a busted play.
Yeah, I think that Bobnar was supposed to take the handoff.
Anyway, they picked up 2 yards as Syvac advanced the football to the 27. So it's 3rd and 3. Second quarter shows about 6 minutes to play. So we're halfway through the period, and the game here is all tied at 7. And the handoff, first down. And Mark Pittarelli goes ahead to the 37-yard line. Was that Tony Fontanazza? Tony Fontanazza took the ball 10 yards to the 37-yard line, and a Greensburg first down.
37-yard line.
And I believe that's only their 3rd first down of the game.
That is indeed. And Riverview has 2.
7-7 is the score. And Greensburg at their own 37. The handoff goes to Fontanazza, who got little on the play. And right there quick was Zach Zarymczyk. So hardly anything on the play. Maybe a half a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 10.
Justin Papa was also in there early. Didn't touch him, but forced him to go more to the outside, right into Zach Zarymczyk.
We will feature, by the way, the Riverview band at halftime. Greensburg on 2nd down and about 10. Has a couple of wideouts to the right. And Syvac is looking in that direction. And he's sacked. Intercepted! Riverview makes the interception, and it was Theo Ficaris who came up with a football. And the mistake that was made by Syvac was that he was throwing the football as he was being tackled, as he was going down.
But the only question on this is the official going to call him down? because Rich Walsh hasn't.
No, he didn't. They gave the ball to the Raiders, and Riverview at the 28-yard line of Greensburg. Here's an opportunity to break the deadlock. Greensburg scored first. Riverview came back, tied it up in the second period, and now have the ball in excellent field position at the 28. Here's a pitch back, and this is a penalty flag thrown. The run by Fritz Tamburo gets it up to the 20.
Carried by number 34, Fritz Tamburo. Flag on the play.
Penalty flag, and let's see what it is. A clip against Riverview.
Penalty
Well, I don't know if we can pick it up where the clip occurred. I don't know. Couldn't tell by me, folks.
He threw the flag at the direction of 44 Heekins, and we watched Heekins on that replay the whole way.
It didn't look anything illegal.
He didn't clip anyone.
Second and 20. I'm sorry. First and 20. First and 20. The Raiders at the Greensburg 40.
Indiana 0.
Belisario, number 1 on the jersey, brings the team out of the huddle and has Buonarroti wide to the left. Buonarroti can move, and once he's got the ball, he's got the ball. Erteljack cuts inside, brought down by Adam Hawes after a short gain to the 38. Second down and 18 after the 2-yard gain. And we're generous in giving 2 yards to Erteljack. It's a little better than 1, but we'll call it second and 18. How could it be 23? Look at the sticks.
I have 20. The first line.
Oh, you know what? Because they were at the 19.
The first line was the 28, and then now they're basically at the 38. So.
Second and 20. And again, the Raiders might be a little bit tight here tonight, or this afternoon. I keep saying tonight. Might be a little tight here. 8-0 coming into the game, 5-0 in this section. Okay.
Check Ben Erteljack in the wing. Well, Buonarroti too. Buonarroti started first, the tight end. Looked like they had the snap count mixed up on that one.
Second down and 28.
Now they are at the 44. They've got to get to the 19. So just subtract 19 from 44. That's 25, isn't it? So it is second and 25. And there's Erteljack out there. The pass to Erteljack. It is caught at the 19. Erteljack catches the football. And he might be injured. Shaken up on the play, but he's okay. And believe it or not, folks, it was exactly what they needed. Although another penalty against Riverview.
I think they called a push-off.
I don't know if you can see anything, Mike. They got 25 yards on that pass play, all for naught.
Well, here's the ball up in the air. Now watch Erteljack go up for it. It's nothing but a jump ball. And the defender is there on him, and Ben just went up and caught it. And it called ineligible downfield is the penalty again. That's about the third one of those tonight.
Well, it is now second and 30. They got to go from the 49 to the 19. Erteljack wide to the right. He can beat his man. He can beat his man. And he's on his way. There's the pass. Erteljack deep, intercepted at the 19. Greensburg will take over after the interception, and now another penalty. Personal foul on Greensburg. You know, I wondered if this is the penalty that is an automatic first down. If you rough the passer, I don't know.
I think roughing the passer is a first down, but we can't see it. He's out of our picture by the time the penalty has taken place. But it's Flag Day here at Greensburg Central Catholic.
We've got a minute and 55 remaining on the second quarter clock.
And it is first down for
It is an automatic first down at the 32.
It's an automatic first down. It'll be
First and 10 for the Raiders. They get a break.
Clock is running. 1:50 to go, first half.
The blitz is on. The pass too high for Erteljack.
Belisario pass intended for number 20, Ben Erteljack. Big Vegas on the coverage for Central.
I got to compliment the public address announcer at Greensburg on doing only what he should be doing, and that is commentating after the play is over.
The Raiders have all 3 of their timeouts left. And we've seen some pretty good 2-minute drills from this team so far this year.
Second and 10. Buonarroti lines up as a receiver to the right, as is Erteljack. There's the pass. And it is intercepted at the 20. Intercepted coming up the sideline and brought down is Blaise Cambruzzi. So the Raiders turn it over with 1:30 to play in the first quarter. I'm sorry, first half. So Greensburg at their own 46-yard line. Take a look at the replay. And I'll tell you what, Blaise Cambruzzi made a nice interception. All right, from the sideline. First and 10 for the Centurions at their own 46. Syvac fakes the handoff, carries the football. He gets about 5 or 6 yards, and then is hit pretty hard over the... I think, was it Frank? Justin Dujak was the first to make contact. A 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Gain of about 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
And we're at 1:05 to play in the first half. Game tied at 7.
The Centurions have 2 timeouts left.
Straight up the middle. And the Raiders converge on the play near the 46-yard line of Riverview. It'll bring up 3rd and about 2. As the ball is advanced straight up the middle. 3rd and 2. Under 30 seconds remaining. And I don't know that the quarterback made it.
He didn't make it.
But again, it's timeout, by the way. An official timeout. Syvac brought the ball ahead of the 45-yard line. And they're short. So it's 4th. And maybe a half yard. Might be content with letting the clock run out. 8. Now they call a timeout. Do we need to take a timeout? How much time on the tape? So the Raiders call for intercepted by the Raiders, and the time will run out here in the second quarter. So the second period has ended as we take another look at the pass.
It's another jump ball for Ben Erteljack, and I believe when the ball was up in the air, we heard the ducks. As that ball hit the wind and just stopped. And Erteljack just picked it off easily.
All right. The Riverview band will be coming out onto the... So it is 2nd and long. Loose football. And who has it? They're fighting for it. It appears the Centurions have recovered. And Brad Bowers falls on the football for Greensburg. This is a tough day for a ball game, folks.
believe that.
Tough to say if that was Rich Walsh that...
I think it was Justin Papa, 74. He came down low and he put the shoulder in and knocked it loose.
So the ball is back now at the 36, and it is 3rd and 12. Here is Syvac looking to throw, and incomplete, in and out of the hands of John Yencha.
Number 48, John Yencha.
Now the 4th down marker is placed, and it'll be 4th and 12 at the 36. Fourth down, punting is Perlick. And back again, Tamburo and Ertlejack. Ertlejack will pick it up at the 33. Ertlejack at the 40, down at the 42. Open to field tackle by Blaze Cambruzzi.
It's returned by number 20, Ben Ertlejack, brought down by number 15, Blaze Cambruzzi.
And somebody for the Centurions getting up a little bit slow. Mike Bobnar, however, he'll go off under his own power. As you see Ertlejack with the return, and the Raiders at their own 42-yard line, and the rains continue to come down. I don't want to make it seem like it's worse than it is, but it's bad enough.
This is not a fit day out for man nor beast.
We're in the 3rd quarter. With 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, the game tied at 7. Ertlejack to the right. The give is to Heekins, who struggles to get to the 45. It's about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. Making the tackle, Craig Giddick. Where's number 60? Raining here in the 2nd half. The Raiders with Belisario handing off. And this is Heekins. Heekins near the 50 is brought down by Steve Roman.
Ball carried by number 44. Heekins brought down by number
So Heekins brought down right on the 50.
Craig Giddick.
And it'll be 3rd and 1 as you look at the blocking that sprung him loose. So here it is, folks, 3rd and 1. The nose of the ball at the 50. Sun shining. Here's the give. There's Heekins. First down. He's still on his feet, and he's in across the 40-yard line to about the 38. A 12-yard gain. A beautiful rainbow. I don't know if we can pick it up or not, but boy, that is an absolute gorgeous sight, folks. What a rainbow.
There was a rip across the face mask again, but I guess he didn't grab a hold of it.
And the rains continue to fall. Belisario over center on 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll keep the football and is at the 34, a gain of about 4. Tackled on the play by Bates Sakosh.
The ball brought down by Joe Conlon.
Well, my glasses are... There's the keeper by Belisario.
That was a play that was very effective for them in their touchdown, the winning touchdown drive last week against Clareton at the end of the game. Belisario picked up a couple of big first downs on just basically keepers running around the right side.
2nd and 6. Game tied at 7. Heekins straight through the middle. Puts the head down and has a first down. He's all the way down to the 26.5-yard line.
Carries the ball. Brought down by Pat Bradley.
And we're under 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. This drive began
ball is
at the Raider 43 following that punt return.
And the Raiders are hoping that at the end of the rainbow, there's going to be a pot of gold that's going to get them 7 points.
Two setbacks. And here's Belisario to throw. And Bonarotti, the intended receiver, no go. Knocking it down was Greensburg's Blaise Cambruzzi. And he's been in there tonight, this afternoon, I should say. Several key defensive situations for the Centurions. Clock stopped on that play with 4:23 showing in this third quarter.
Not happen to see any leprechauns around, do you?
Well, the rains have let up a little bit anyway. The wind just is a monster. Heekins again. Heekins chugs ahead. And I'll tell you what, the Raiders' front wall continues to open it up. Now the face mask has finally been called. We owe for a break. And I'm just wondering when. Should we wait? Let's take the break right now. And goal to go from the 9. And the ball is brought forward to about the 5-yard line as Heekins, the workhorse, down to the 5-yard line. Kappa has made this game interesting, folks.
Bob, Heekins has 6 carries out of the 7 rushes, and Belisario has the other one on this drive. So it's been exclusively Heekins.
Here's a give, and Heekins down to the 4. It looked like Heekins. It is 44. Down to the 4, and once again, Zakosh makes the tackle at about the 4. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 4, and the last time they were in this situation, Belisario took the snap, ran to his right, fired the football into the hands of Erdeljak in the end zone. That gave the Raiders their only touchdown of the game. Let's see what they'll do here. And again, you know, Heekins is running the ball well right up the middle. So they've got an option here, I guess. Tamburo and Heekins in the backfield. And here it is. Belisario will keep it. Boy, he's close. Boy, is he close. Oh, boy, the Raider fans are really unhappy with the spot of the ball. He is at the 6. Giddick for Greensburg makes the tackle. And Dan Bowers. So his knee goes down at the 1-yard line, and it's 4th and goal right here. Late third quarter with 2:09 to play. Quarterback keeper, touchdown. And the Raiders have broken the tie on the quarterback keeper by Orlando Belisario. Third quarter and the 3rd score. We have had 1 touchdown in each of the periods. This time Belisario from a yard out, and the Raiders have taken a 13-7 lead. Now the all-important extra point, and I do mean important.
And especially now when overtime is a factor, you have to tack those points up there.
Erdeljak holds for the Belisario kick. Erdeljak holds, Belisario kicks, and it is good. 14-7 is the score. And what else can you say? This Riverview Ball Club has fought and fought hard here this afternoon. The first touchdown scored by Greensburg came after a turnover.
Bob, that drive for Riverview was 11 plays, 57 yards, and they took 5:01 off the clock. Belisario threw only 1 pass. It was incomplete, and all the rest of them were runs and successful runs. And the Raiders lead at 14-7. It's their first lead of the ball game.
Well, the portion of the rainbow is still in the sky as we look downfield. Erdeljak, number 20 in your picture there, will hold the ball. The sun is out. Boy, this is a tough one to call when you're a television director, producer, and different settings on the camera from cloudiness to sunshine. The kick all the way down to the 3. It is bobbled, picked up at the 3, return to the right, and they're going to bring him down short of the 15-yard line. I'm not sure if that was Fontaneza. It was De Palma. And Sam Glover for the Raiders makes the play short of the 15-yard line with 2 minutes now left in the third quarter. So 87 yards to go for Greensburg late here in the third quarter. Weather-wise, it could have been better, but again, it could have been a lot worse. Greensburg out of the eye, trailing 14-7. Quick hitter, first man coming through. Theo Vaqueros was the first guy to say, he's right there. Mike Bodnar took the football.
Mike Bodnar carries the ball.
And got to the line of scrimmage, second down and 10. Folks, if anything, he may have lost a half a yard, but let's call it second and 10. A minute left in the third quarter. A give, and again the Raiders, and this is a loss on the play. Well, I'll tell you what, Justin Dujak, if you look at the replay, look at this. Makes the hit. A loss of 2 yards, 3rd and 12.
Just the way they teach it. Go in there and hit them straight up.
Tony Fontaneza dropped for the loss on that last play, and we're down to about 15 seconds. I don't know if you realize it or not, but most of the play has taken place on the right end of the field. What a play defensively by Khalil Ciora, the replacement today for the offensive tackle Randy Gilbert, who's not in. As the quarter comes to an end and the loss takes the ball back to the 10, and when we resume play, it'll be 4th and 14. So we have played 3 full quarters of play, and we'll be back with a 4th and final period right after this.
4th and 14 for the Centurions, and they'll have the punting team on the field. And the punter is Nick Perlick, 24, and he boots it coming end over end. Ertlejack grabs it at the 48, and he slips and goes down at the 42-yard line. So Ertlejack brings it back for about 5. And the Raiders will put it in play in good field position on the Greensburg 43-yard line. First down and 10. 11:54 to go in regulation. And here's Ben. Now, he's had some problems today. He slipped before he fielded the one punt.
That could be on that paint.
So here are the Raiders with 3 in the backfield. First and 10 on the Greensburg 43. And the give is the first man through, and that's Damian Heekins. And he's piled on as he gets down inside to about the 40-yard line. Joe Conlon in to make the stop for the Centurions.
Damian Heekins carrying the ball, brought down by number 32, Adam Hahn.
And there you see Heekins with some help, too, from his own guys.
Gain of about 3 yards on the play. Second down.
3-yard gain. Second down, 7 for the Raiders at the Greensburg 40-yard line. And the clock is in the Raiders' favor right now because Greensburg really hasn't been able to get anything going offensively in this football game. Ertlejack splits out to the right. Bonarati is tight left from the eye. On second down, here's the give to Shulo off the right side, and they're holding on to him. I believe that was Craig Giddick who had him by the shoe tops, and Steve Sivak also. And there you see Fran diving ahead. So we're going to call this third down and about 6 to go at the Greensburg 38-yard line. Raiders trying to keep possession of the ball here. They split Bonarati out to the left. and have 3 in the backfield. And to give straight ahead to Tamburo, but the Centurions are waiting as Sam Trieger was there along with Craig Giddick and Steve Roman and a host of red shirts. And Tamburo actually will be hit for a loss of 1 on that when the ball will be spotted at the 39, and it's going to be 4th down and 7.
One of the few times the Raiders have punted the football today.
And by our count, I think it's numero uno.
So this is the first punt?
Yes, it is. On their other 4th downs, they've gone ahead and gone for it. They're going to try to pin the Centurions back here. Here's the snap to Erdeljack, or to Belisario, and he punts it down there to Syvac, who takes it at about the 16. And there goes the flag. Syvac is brought down at the 22-yard line.
I'd like to know what the call would be here.
The marker is down, and we have a clip, as you saw it on the upper left portion of your screen. And maybe if we can get another look at that, we can point it out. And that's going to push the Centurions back. Oh, right there it is. Upper left. And that was an ouch. That was definitely an ouch. So Greensburg Central Catholic will take it at their own 10-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:28 to go regulation. They need a touchdown and a 1-point conversion to tie it. And the Raiders need to hold on for the final 9-16 and win the conference championship. 1st and 10, Greensburg Central at their own 10. Syvac barking. And the give is to Fontanazza, the first man through. And
you know, I don't know how many times they're going to run that ball up the middle, but they're not having any success with it there. Dujak and Zrimsik are there to make the stop, and a gain of about 2 on the play.
And you think they're going to have to start to get maybe a little bit more creative than that.
You know, I can remember Milo early in the ball game when Syvac on a keeper faked, then ran the ball wide, and he fooled Riverview, and they're just not doing it anymore.
And maybe they're setting that one up. And that's Fontanazza again, and he's brought down by Zach Zrimsik as he gets it up to the 15-yard line, a gain of about 3, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 5 for Greensburg Central. And as you see, Erdeljack Zrimsik unblocked, and there's Erdeljack in to finish it up, mopping up on that one.
3rd down about 6.
3rd down 5. Long 5. And if Coach Bill Colosimo has anything in his bag of tricks over there, it might be time to pull it out.
This is a key down because the Raiders get the football. They're going to try to eat up some more time. There's that play I called.
And that's Perlick off the right side, and the fake was to the first back, and Perlick came around, but he was dropped down by Justin Dujak. And he makes the big play for the Raiders on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. And Franchula was also there to force it, as you see. He forces the play and gets the man around the ankles and brings him down.
Well, the winds have died considerably. The sun is shining. It's still rather chilly, but still is a funny day for a football game.
And if you don't like the weather, stick around for 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is like Chicago.
4th and 2, and Nick Perlick is back to punt it. And again, it comes end over end. Tamburo over the shoulder at the Riverview 42, the 45, through the middle to 50. Bounces off a man, doesn't go down very easily, and is brought down at the Greensburg Central 46-yard line.
The guy that brought him down was Dan DePalma. Dan DePalma, if you look at the replay, watch number 20, and he did bounce back.
He knocked him back about 3 yards, actually.
14-7 is the score with 6.5 minutes to play.
Now we'll see if the Raiders can just run the clock out here. 1st down and 10. First man is Heekins, and he busts it towards the outside, inside the 40 and down to the Greensburg 38-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the 1st down. So that's a good 9-yard pickup on first down for Heekins.
I was going to say, Pat Bradley makes the stop as we watch it on the replay.
And that is not Pat Bradley, the golfer, either. 2nd down and 1 for the Raiders on the Greensburg 38-yard line. Clock is under 6 minutes now in the 4th quarter. And the toss is to Erteljack off the left side. Inside the 35 and knocked out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, and that'll be a Raider first down.
Bradley the first to hit him, and Mark Pitterell finally brought him down. Folks, we have to break for a commercial. Got a break. We'll be right back and continue after this.
That's enough for a first down, though, for Riverview.
And Heekins has knocked down a good defensive play by Craig Giddick.
And Bates Zakosh brought him down. You know what? This kid has got a tremendous sense of balance. Pushed to the side, stayed on his feet, picked up the yard, 2nd and 9.
Very difficult to knock him off his pins. 2nd down and 9 now. The Raiders have it at the Greensburg Central 29. Leading at 14-7. And the delayed give, and this is Fritz Tamburo and the entire Central Catholic Greensburg Central defense was waiting for Fritz on that one, and he's brought down for a loss on the play back at the 32-yard line, and we have an injury.
And one of the Raiders, it's either Zanella, the center, and it could be.
Okay, we'll take a look at it and see if we can see where Zanella
I think they got the
down.
back. They get the back of his leg. Dude.
But he was engaged in a block. And you see on the play, the ball was popped loose, but the whistle had blown. He was engaged by the lineman, and he might have twisted it as he went down.
Well, this would have been a better time to take the break, but nonetheless, we have taken it. One more time in the replay. Now, if they make the change, the Raiders will come in with Sam Glover at center.
And Bob, this is an all too familiar scene. We saw it last week with Randy Gilbert, who was down for quite a while. And especially, you know, hoping the young man's all right, especially heading into the playoffs. The last thing Jake Kappa wants to see is a depletion along that line.
Well, the trainer is out there, and they're tending to this youngster, Ron Zanella. And right now, he's at least sitting up.
The only thing I can think of is when he was engaged with the block, or with the defensive lineman, and he was twisting around, that maybe his spikes got caught, and he might have twisted something in the knee.
We've got 5 minutes to play in the game. Riverview leading 14-7. And Sam Glover will be coming in at center, at least for one play, and Zanella might be out for a while. But the minimum is one, but Glover is capable.
They're going to practice a couple of snaps now while they're... maybe my memory's cloudy, but didn't Rich Walsh play center last year?
You know what? I am not sure.
So, I mean, they have some people to go to. You don't want to mess around. Oh, well, you don't win like 812 games in a row like they have without having some people.
All right, 3rd down and 13.
From the 32. We'll see if they put it up or not. I doubt it. There's the give to Erteljack, and it breaks open for him. And Erteljack inside the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Raiders!
Erteljack gets in there with 4:36 to play in the ball game.
And that'll about put the icing on it. A 32-yard touchdown run by
For the Raiders, Theo Fakaris opens it up. Also there, Steve Mitchell opening it up. And they just can't tackle.
And that thing just opened at the line of scrimmage like the Red Sea, and Erteljack did his Moses impression.
And Bates Zakosh threw himself at Belisario, at Erteljack rather, inside the 5, and he just couldn't come up with it. Whistles blow, and
we'll see what the
Raiders are offside.
have a procedure call against the Raiders. Yet another penalty to tack on to their ever-mounting total here this afternoon. 4:36 to go in the fourth, and the Raiders lead it 20-7, and we'll have a little extra point for Orlando Belisario here.
Well, again, it's a partly cloudy day, and the sun, for the most part, has been visible here in the second half, but the winds just will not die.
And the kick is blocked.
How about that?
And I believe that was Kurt Stillwagon that came through there, number 58. He's the young man who recovered the fumble earlier in the football game, and we'll take a look at it. And that's who it is, Kurt Stillwagon, busting right through the middle, and that's busting right up the middle past the new center, probably. And there's one instance where, you know, you don't like to lose people up there. And the kick is no good, so the score remains 20-7 in favor of the Raiders at 4:36 to go in regulation time. The Raiders just needing to hold off Greensburg Central here for the remainder of this thing to cap off another conference championship for themselves.
Games next weekend. It'll be Burrell at Apollo Ridge. I was going to say at Apollo, period, because the field is in Apollo, but nonetheless, both teams undefeated in section play. And then next Saturday, Riverview at home with Leechburg, and that, by the way, is a 1:30 kickoff.
And here's Belisario putting the ball in the air. And this will be taken by number 20, and that is Dan DePalma, and he brings it forward over to the 25-yard line. Sam Glover was there for the Raiders. So the Raiders now will go on defense. It's first down Greensburg at the 24-yard line.
I'm sorry.
Moving left to right here in the fourth quarter and trailing it by 2 touchdowns and have 4:23 with the clock running. So Steve Syvac, who's only thrown it 3 times and had 2 of them picked off in this game, is going to have to put it up here now for sure. From the shotgun. First time we've seen that today. And Syvac on the short deck throws it over the middle, and it's intercepted by Dujak at the 40, and he's brought down at the 33-yard line.
You gotta love it.
Justin Dujak makes the pick. And the Raiders on another turnover. That's the 3rd interception today.
And we owe for another break, folks. Riverview will have the ball when we come back.
Yard line. No, that didn't take very long, did it?
Turnovers again.
That's the 4th one for the Raiders, and Greensburg's turned it over 3 times. And that's Heekins. He never really had a hold of that thing. It was juggling the entire time. And Greensburg now gets it right back. So what kind of turnovers do you want, apple or cherry? We have for everyone here. First down Greensburg, again from the shotgun, 30-yard line. Oh, it's a bad snap. We got another loose ball. And the Raiders have it. Mercy, what's going on here?
What's that, 3 consecutive turnovers?
3 in a row. This is Callie Ociora, I believe, that was on that one.
3 minutes left in the game. Well, Greensburg scored first, folks, and then the Raiders have come back with 3 touchdowns. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th periods. Right now, they're inside the 25.
1st and 10. Let's see if we can get a playoff cleanly here. And this is Erdeljak through the middle, and Erdeljak down to the 12-yard line.
Boy, that's close to a first down, too.
And I believe, well, we'll see how they decide here. It is a Raider first down at the 12-yard line. Another great block by Theo Fakaris in there. So the Raiders have the ball on the Greensburg Central 12.5-yard line. It's 1st and 10. 20-7, and the clock is the Raiders' friend right now. And as soon as they get, we had a player shaken up for Greensburg Central. That was Steve Roman. He comes off the field, and now the clock turns again at 2:21. And the Raiders are going to use up all the time they have allotted to them here because they just want to get to the end of the clock. First down at the 12. Erdeljack and Heekins behind Belisario. And Belisario on the keeper comes to the left, and they have him back at the 13. Maybe a loss on the play. Nice play by Pat Bradley.
He lost a yard.
And, you know, that might have been a busted play. Let's see if somebody missed a handoff. Well, looked like Shulo or Erdeljack went in there to block, so it must have been planned. The wide plays take more time off the clock, and that's probably the thinking behind that. Second down and 12 yards to go. The ball at the 14. Minute and a half now. And the give is to Heekins. And Heekins bucks his way into the middle and barrels all the way down to the 6.
You know, I don't know that Jake really wants to score as much as he wants to take time off the clock. Riverview ahead 20-7.
It's a good, excellent block there by Sam Glover, who's come in to play center. And he blew the hole out that time, and Heekins pulled his way right through there. So now the Raiders have a 3rd down and 4 at the Greensburg Central 6-yard line, and the clock is under a minute, 53 seconds to go. And the give is to Heekins, breaks the first tackle and gets inside the 5 to about the 4.
And we're down to 40 seconds.
Heekins carries the ball, brought down by number 50.
Belisario was able to shake a tackler, huh?
Well, the play was made by Craig Giddick as he nearly took the handoff. So the ball is at the 4, and it's 4th down and 2 for the Raiders, and the clock is ticking inside 20 seconds. And the Raiders are on their way to another conference title. And the give is to Heekins, and they have him. He tries to pitch it back to Belisario, and then he falls on it. Well, are Barnum and Bailey in the house?
Well, there's only 4 seconds left, and folks, that had to be next to the last play of the game, if not the last.
They're going to call it down at the 7, and there's the... Again, we've seen a few pretty interesting decisions on the fly, I guess you could say, by Raider players here in this game. So the ball goes over to Greensburg at 4 seconds. The clock winds, and that's it. That's your football game. It's all over, and the Riverview Raiders are the champions of the Eastern A Conference for the 2nd consecutive year. They defeat Greensburg Central here this afternoon, 20-7.
All right, we'll be back with a wrap-up and the PNC Bank MVP right after this. By a final of 20-7, the last extra point try by Belisario was blocked. And before we forget, Mike, let's do our game MVP real quick,
okay.
All right? Not that we want to shortchange him or anything, but...
Yeah, the MVP for PNC Bank here this afternoon is Ben Erdeljack. He scored 2 touchdowns, one on a 5-yard reception from Orlando Belisario, and the other one on a 32-yard run that capped it off with about 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And I believe we can take a look at that one right now. This is the play where Vaqueros had a nice block, and also Chip Mitchell, and it opened up like the Red Sea, and there went Belisario all the way, 32 yards, to cap off Ben Erdeljack, for the touchdown, and that was the final score of the day for the Raiders. And by the way, Ben Erdeljack had 5 carries for 49 yards, which was 2nd leading ball carrier in the game. Damian Heekins was an absolute workhorse in the 2nd half. And he had 13 carries of his 15 in the 2nd half, and he gained 64 yards. Fritz Tamburo had 7 carries for 45. Fran Shulo had 5 carries for 38. And passing Belisario was 2 for 7 is what it was. 1 pass was called back. 17 yards for Orlando. Steve Syvac was the leading ball carrier for Greensburg Central. He had 9 carries for 19 yards. Tony Fontanazza 15 carries for 25. And that was basically it, as Riverview added it on here in the second half. They scored with 2:01 to go in the third on Belisario's 1-yard sneak. Orlando added the extra point. The Raiders led it 14-7 and capped it off on Erteljack's 32-yard run at 4:36 left in the football game. The extra point was missed, and the Raiders won it 20-7.
You know, as many times as we have come to Greensburg, the opposition against Greensburg has never really had it easy. And it took the second half to kick this one off and get the Raiders in gear. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. On behalf of my broadcast partner here, Mike Pavlik, I'm Bob Tattern. Thank you for tuning into the game. And again, the Riverview Raiders claim the Eastern A title with a victory here. 20-7 is the final. So long, everybody.